Welcome back to the World of Tanks test server 9.9 version 2, and we are going to have a look at the SpähPanzer SP1C, newly added as a replacement of the Aufklärungspanzer Panther, also called the AFK Panther or the Awful Panther, and I didn't like it one single bit. So hopefully this is a better tank for you right there. I also selected here the other tier 7 light tanks of the other nations, so we can have a little comparison here. But first let's have a look at the tank itself. It's pretty tall, as you can see, but it's also pretty small, and she looks kinda cute here. Funky little muzzle brake here. Yeah, so let's first have a look at the tank. You see a nice slope here, but with only 10 millimeters of armor, it's worth nothing. Maybe this little gun mantlet here might be able to surprise bounce something, but the rest is utter and total crap. 10, 10, 10. Only the front is 15 here. Also the back is 10, so everyone who's only gonna breathe at you or fart your direction, it's gonna do damage. With 880 hit points, it is doing okay-ish with regards to the other tanks. However, it's almost close, but it's the least of all those other tanks. So once again, let's have a look at the modules first. I've fully upgraded it right now, as most players will probably move that way by fully upgrading it. I will have a look at the guns as well, because they have a different choice here. We have the 90mm gun with 3 shells in it. Time of complete loading is 20 seconds. Then you can pump shots directly every 3 seconds. So that's a bit slower than most tanks, which is mostly 2.5 seconds. Penetration is 180, which is quite okay for a light tank, and the average damage is 240. It's not super accurate, but it's also not bad. However, the aim time is a bit on the high side here. So let's first compare that to the other gun. It's also in your choice here, and you can see it's basically the same gun, but without the auto-loading mechanism on it. You see the aim time is better, the accuracy is better, and the rate of fire will probably also be a bit better. However, you don't have this burst as you can do with the other one. So yeah, that's up to you. It has to suit your playstyle. I guess it's kind of the same thing you have to weigh off on the Walker Bulldog. Furthermore, it has a 44 degrees traverse speed, which is same as the, say, E25 or the new Cannon and SpähPanzer. And how this is compared to the other tanks here. This one has 48, the LTDB, 56, the hefty, fast, agile Bulldog here, 40 degrees on the AMX 75, which is a public secret, is quite a terrible tank. Then we have the 54 degrees on the WZ, which is also not bad. So you see, this is kind of more of the sluggish little brothers of the tier 7 light tanks. And with a top speed of 58, it's also not gonna beat its competitors here. It's gonna be the slowest. Yeah, so what do you have to expect from this tank then? There is a little gun on it, with the shell damage being the highest per shot. Actually, this one, as a mini Type 59, will do even more damage, but this is more like a regular gun, whereas this one is more like a light tank gun. This is actually really a medium tank gun right there. So in terms of guns, it can pack quite a punch, and is maybe like a mean little machine. And I would recommend to just stay put, spot people, and when you have the chance, start putting shots in them, pull back, and retry to engage later on. Luckily, the view range got buffed a little bit to 400 meters, and the signal range is quite decent with 750. What kind of shells do we get? We have the 9cm Mech RAPs, which have, like I said, okay penetration. The heat shells have very good penetration, and the HE shells pretty rubbish penetration. Let's take a sort of suitable loadout, which might be normal. I would say something like this in order to be effective. Just gonna run this one on standard settings as I would do in, say, a default game, because on the test server everyone's spamming gold. And who is spamming gold 24/7? I don't think anyone. They cannot afford it. So that's pretty much it to this first tank. It looks okay, but I don't expect miracles from this tank. I'm actually looking more forward to the RU-251, which is the next one coming up. So let's have a look and try some games in it. So here we are in the battle, and starting, just pay a little attention here as we can compare the vehicles in size. What I forgot to mention is that this tank features an autoloader, but actually allows you to put a rammer on it. Here I focus on the FCM50T just so you can kind of compare the size here, and it is actually quite small. That's good. I'm gonna move forward here to hopefully get some spots off on the guys that are on the hill. Kind of problematic for me is, however, that one scout is already up front, which, yeah, he's probably spotting everything for me, but here I can pull off, aim a little, and with 1 shot, 2 shots, and I pull back. Get shot at right away, but I'm behind this rock here. You see the clip reload is 17.24 with a 100% crew and the rammer on it, so it's not too bad actually to have 3 shots which are pretty capable of doing damage. You see the shells are going with a little curve and are actually pretty slow as I missed this AMX CDC and the shell flies low. So I'm reloading for the first time, and I'm gonna move up, see if I can flank someone. Following the big guys here. I'm just trying to be this little annoying guy that's in the back shooting everyone. Because really with this armor you don't want to be in the front. This tank only weighs, thank you, this tank only weighs 10 tons. Everyone is being friendly in the service again, the Europeans and the Russians, as I pump some shots in the SP1C competition and take him out. So moving up, and you see 10 tons, it has a bit of troubles knocking over trees. So that's going to be annoying if you're on the run, on a scout run for instance, and bump into trees just like that. Trying to hit the super piercing shell is traveling too long, and I hit the logo on the turret, do not penetrate. Reloading, pulling back. You see it's pretty good at annoying these. And he's dead. Annoying these tanks which are being kept busy. Auto engage. 1 bounce on the tracks. Second shot flies in and I pull back. However, I get shot. Still, it allows me to pump 1 into him. Pulling back again. Reloading. Out of sight. Staying back. Game is going pretty well. 7-2. No problem whatsoever. Trying to see if I can support our FCM, but he's too far away. Moving up again. So once again, interesting feature, you have an autoloader with a rammer on it. It's not very common. I actually don't know any tank that has that. So I would suggest to make use of it. You might however consider changing the vents I'm running on this thing for a camo net, so you can really set it up as a dedicated passive scout. As in tier 9 and 10 matches, this might be wise, because there your gun won't be able to do as much. I see the Ferdinand, which was spotted before, and I wanted to go around. There you see him on the left. Speed on this thing is actually quite okay, but it's not the fastest as, say, a Bulldog. I actually have not too much to complain about how the tank handles. It's not too sluggish as I feared before. It's also not the most mobile, but it's really something you can live with. Hello, Mr. 110. One shot. Trying to shoot at the engine and hope for some transmission fire here. And I bounce one shot, and thanks again, man. This is basically test server play for you right there. So if it wasn't for him, I would have only taken one hit so far from the Cannon SpähPanzer because I was too greedy to take the shot, but I could also afford to take a hit, so no problems so far. And here I'm gonna try and circle the 110 on the move, shoot right through his front, which is cool. Finish him off, and monetize my first shot right in the bottom plate of that Ferdinand, and I hit him as well. So game over, nice. So here we are back in the battle result. It actually was quite a fun game. Only second class, that is okay, but the team score 998 top XP in my first battle with 2374 damage done. This was, however, the most lucky matchup I could get. It was a tier 8 battle. Not sure how it fares against tier 9s and 10s, but you need to be playing a bit more, how do I say, cautious. Yeah, as you could see, no problems with the Ferdinand from the front. You could also reliably penetrate the 110 with just regular shells, and this tank does seem to be quite funny actually. What I also liked is you can kind of be the sneaky little guy. You saw the tank is quite small with regards to other tanks, and yeah, they don't pay so much attention to you, as at least seemed in this battle. The only annoying thing was that the Russians were misbehaving again, shooting at me, so just don't do it, please. For the rest, as we conclude, even though I was a bit skeptical about this tank, I am quite fond of it after our first battle. So, nice little preview here. Just to conclude, hope you liked it. Please subscribe, like and comment in the video below, and I'll catch you next time with new content.